Recording, yes. Okay, I'm back. Just let me start off by saying I am sick. My voice is funny. I'm wearing my wearable blanket because I'm cold and I don't feel well, but I'm still working. So, I finished dyeing my papers. So I'm going to show you some of that. While I was waiting for my papers to dry, I went through magazines, books, things I've saved, and pulled a lot of images. So let me just show you those before I clean them out of the way. So I cut stuff out of magazines, things like this. And then I glued them onto black cardstock and cut them out. So instead of having this magazine image like this is a little black bat purse, I have images that look a little bit more substantial, a little bit more intentional, a little bit neater. So I haven't finished all of them. I think I got these 3 left. These were some free images I got from somewhere, and I need to put back those. But yeah, so that's that stuff I'm working on. That took quite a bit of time. Just kind of want also an idea of the time I put into these books. So when I sit in my chair and put something on TV and I will sit down and just do this. I can't sit somewhere and not do something with my hands. So I'm usually doing stuff like this. So this took me, a couple of hours of fussy cutting out all of these images. Fussy cutting means cutting it out the exact little shape. See, look at that exact little shape I cut out. And then glued it and then recut it again. So that takes a little bit of time, but the effect is well worth it in my idea. So I'm just going to throw those images in there. I have everything I need for the books in little trays. So I have a fabric box. I have stamps that I've chosen from my collection. These are images I've chosen. I have another box for stickers and just making little collections. I've also went through some books I have collected and pulled out some images. These are from a 1897 Sears and Roebuck catalog, a replica I found at an estate sale, but I do pull pages out of it to use that. So I'll be using these in the book. They're quite large, so they'll be perfect. This one is an ad for cream butter color and black oriental chantilly and Spanish laces. This one is novelty black goods. All kinds of black fabrics listed. So I thought that'd be interesting to put in. This one is a picture of an organ, which is in the Addams family household. This is, this side is the side I wanted. Hairbrushes for ladies, for like the vanity. And then I also went through some of my creepy books I collect, and I pulled out some images that might be interesting. Murdered farmer to get lock of hair to break spell. 3 confess. So kind of some witch drama there. This one is, this woman is swimming test. A suspected witch floats guiltily while another recedes into the deep. Witches were generally bound hand to foot before dunking. Practice that not only restrained them, but also kept a surprising number of them afloat. Ooh, scary. So this is, kind of some family history there, because we all know what happened to Great Aunt Calpurnia. So I have an image here of a burning of the witches. Very sad, but, piece of history for the witches and, what they've been through. So that's part of the family history. They did talk about that. Then I got some stuff in regard to seances. So here we have a Ouija board. And this was a double image. So I had to cut it. It was on each page, but oh, look at that. How pretty. The silver edging. These people here. Look, she's terrified. This thing's floating. Oh, good. So seance stuff. So I pulled that over the last 2 days while I was waiting for my papers to dry. So I dyed papers, dried them, re-dyed a couple, and put another finish on some of them. So let's just go over what I've done. So let's start with the lined paper. So we'll give you an idea of what's going on. So this is the cardstock, and it was white on the back. So here's the colors we've achieved. It's a grayish with purple. And as they dry, you'll see they get these interesting bands of color here, which I just love. Looks old there. Here's some copy papers. And they're all come out different, which I just adore. And so I did put varying levels of dye in my trays. So these look white, but they're actually not. Let me pull up white paper so we can compare. Okay, here's a piece of white paper. So it looks whitish, but I'm also going to put things on here and probably change the edges. Today's video is going to be on the next step of altering pages once I've got the dyeing process complete. So let me just go through these quickly. So those were the copy papers that have been dyed. This is lined paper. I'll just lay out a quick, oh look, I put a doily in there, like a heart-shaped doily, and when it sat on the pages it dyed them. Pretty cool, huh? Love those accidents. And then here's some other ones, different color lined paper. And this is a sticker sheet. It's a one solid giant sticker, so that got funky, which was good. These were those file binder dividers with file tab edges, so there's the different colors they came out in. Okay. Let me get that stuff out of the way. Sorry, got tools over here. Here's that little file folder. I love this one. The way the ink sat, it actually looks like it's moldy. It's not, of course, because none of the stuff I use is food grade. None of it will mold. It's all picked specifically because it won't go bad and rot paper. So here, these were originally like a Valentine pink. We've got them pretty grungy. This was plastic coated, so it didn't take very well, but I have other ways of altering that. We'll get to you. This was a brown bag, more of a gray bag. Here's some book pages. And here are all those 12 by 12. So these are the original sides, which were already dark. So we're going to talk about the opposite sides. So this was a super shiny silver. I dyed it. It didn't have any effect on the plastic. So I altered the plasticky sides with a mixture of my own. It's chalk, black eyeshadow, salt, and holographic black glitter. So I wish I had an original so you could see, but it has changed quite a bit. It's not as shiny as it was before. So here's the back sides of those 12 by 12s. They're no longer white or beige. They are very well colored, and these ones are double dyed. So after they came out and dried, they were, you know, a plain beige, and then I went in with a darker dye and just kind of brushed and slopped it over to give us more tones. So look at that, lovely, all dyed and nice. Ooh, look at that one. Ooh. And this is only phase 1 of paper altering. So there's that. These were those big sheets of multi-purpose sketch paper. So that's what they've been through. And now here's a comparison. Okay. And then, what's that over there? Okay, so the slurry mix I was talking about, that chalk mixture, I did, I put some of that on these. So that's kind of gray and funky. We put some set some cups on there and did some splatters. This bag was like an old white bag, and oh, look how it's absorbed the dye. Just lovely. This was that golden bat paper, and this has chalk and the eyeshadow and salt, and where the salt has dried, you could see it has these weird little textures, which I just love, love, love. And then because it did have that mixture on it, I actually have to clean this paper off when it's done. Excuse me, when it's done. It's part of the process, so, because it will be powdery. I don't want it to get on the hands and touch everything, so I basically dust the paper off, okay? And then it'll be ready for use. That side was black and white. That's what it looks like now. This was all silver. This was black and gold. It's very oldish now. This was a regular paper bag. Splattering there. Some old. This was a plastic doily. Some scraps I did. This paper got ripped, and I threw it in there anyways. Looks awesome. Oh, look at that. The purple on the inside and the gray. Oh, I just love those colors. So nice. Oh, here's that little red heart that dyed the others. And then here's those coffin pages done in 2 different finishes. All right, so that's the papers dyed and done. So now we're going to move to the next step. Oh, I also threw in some fabrics into the dye. So these were white, and now they're not. So here's white. There's some crochet, some white lace, a couple of doilies. Looks like muslin, eyelet fabric, and that's some cotton. This has some embroidery on it. This was some striped cotton. So those will be ready for the book as well. Put those aside. Oh, here's some more images I need to put in my box. Images. Okay, so next page of, oh, I hope my hair didn't get in the camera while I was reaching around. I have like witch hair going on right now, like crazy hair. So let's start with this one. So what I do is, what happens is when you get cardstock, it's pretty stiff. It's all nice and straight and flat and perfect. After it's been dyed, I don't know exactly the term for it. I'm going to call it the starch, or whatever is in the paper that keeps it firm, kind of moves. And then when it dries, it becomes lumpy and stuff. So we still have this firm cardstock, but it's lumpy. And I don't want it exactly that firm. I want it to be a little bit more worn and used. So something kind of silly, but this is how I do it. I take the cardstocks, and we are going to manipulate more. So we are going to start rolling really tight here. And so I'm not going to describe every little thing I'm doing. I think what I'm going to do is just let this record, and then you can watch what I'm doing. So it's going to be rolling, smashing, texturing. I'm going to be doing some inking, doing some smudges, might do some sewing. So I'm just going to record, and as something comes up that I need to describe or explain, I will stop and explain. So thanks for being here, and I'm going to go ahead and speed this on through. that's quite a lot of time showing how I get some of my papers ready. These are more like the big designer pages. Later I'll work on some of the smaller lined paper and the copy paper, just to show how I prep that. It's not so much artistic work as it is maybe some sewing and some we'll say engineering of the papers. So that was just a little bit of what I do to these. So I hope you enjoyed looking at those and see that they came to light. Just kind of wing it as I go. So thanks for being here.